but there's no rush because we don't have that many people today. So just take your time. Okay. Does anyone else have any question? So another idea I have is maybe during the week, um, one of the if some things that I'm working on at work, I can um I can share with you guys. Maybe we can work on it together. Not do my work here, but let's say if I work on a particular service, then I finish that task at work, I can share with you guys so you guys can just have an idea things I'm working on a day to day. Um, one of the ones that I'm working on next week, but I haven't had time to look at it is they want us to add some type of scanning tool to our Terraform process that was the tool would pretty much scan all of our Terraform. I don't know if it scans Terraform code or it scans certain things. It's just something that works with Terraform that scans before you apply. Um, no, not SonarQube. We looked at a couple of tools. The ones they picked, I think they called it. Let me even see if I can. The one they picked that I have to work on a POC on implementing it into our pipeline. I think they call it checkov. Check. I hope I think I'm probably spelling it wrong, but let me just say checkov Terraform scanning. Yeah, this. So this is the one I need to work on implementing it into our pipeline. So it looks like it is a policy as code for everyone. Introducing checkov 2.0 about the biggest thing. Obviously, it works with AWS Terraform. Um, mm, check out scans cloud infrastructure's configuration to find misconfiguration before they are deployed. Yeah, so obviously it scans it scans your cloud infrastructure and check for misconfiguration before you deploy them. So you use command line interface to manage, analyze scans across platforms such as Terraform, CloudFormation. Okay. Yeah. So this is what they want me to work on work on in this sprint. So and I just have to figure out how to deploy it in our pipeline. So the one we are working on is with Terraform and AWS. So yeah, I just have to first figure out how to download it, how the whole installation process works and how to use it. Okay. So installing checkov is a quick and straightforward. Just install configure, input, and scan. Okay. Install from pip. Install on Alpine. Install with Homebrew. So this is if you are using Mac computer, but I wouldn't be doing it locally. Maybe once I start working on it, I can try it locally because we work on Terraform stuff too. It could be a mini project we'll do. Since we can install it locally, we'll install it and we have Terraform project, we will use it to scan our Terraform project. I'm pretty sure it will find some misconfiguration in there. It probably won't, but who knows? We'll see what type of scan we get, and this could also be something you can add to your resume, because this is actually something we are doing at work right now. So, uh, configuring, configure an input file. Okay, after you scan it, configure an input file. Configure, okay.
Aziz.
Yes.
From what I understood with this checkov stuff, I think you still have to define the type of things that you want it to scan. It's not just like you just have your code and then it runs on the back end and scan everything.
Oh, really?
It has some kind of predefined modules. You have to choose the ones that you want and then it does specific things. So
Oh,
that's
I
how I
see.
understand it. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. So this is the first time I'm actually looking at it. So, yeah, I'll definitely be reading their documentation next week, and whatever I learn, I'll let you guys know. Um, yeah. Okay, it's good to know. So I guess this is one of the scanning thing. So where over here where it is saying um configure an input folder. Okay, obviously configure an input folder or file. So I can so is this going to be is this uh code folder going to be my project folder, my project directory for all my Terraform codes? Do you think that's what that is? I think it is.
Yes, when you install it in a specific directory, it's gonna run only in that directory.
Oh, I see. So I can point it. So
Hmm.
here is pretty much the directory where my Terraform projects would be.
Correct.
Okay. Or I can pick a specific file in that directory that I wanted to run. Okay. All right. Yeah, so I would yeah, I'll play around with it, and whatever I learn, I'll let you guys know. So, but yes, this is one thing I'm working on at work currently. So, so maybe every week, if I work on something very interesting, I'll just let you guys know. All right. Dylan, are you ready? I may said it will be built into root. Oh, okay.
AZ, the thing is not letting me log into my account. Um, uh, because I had deleted Dylan one, but I had Dylan one on when me and Wishap was doing it. It still referenced the Dylan one, and I didn't want it to reference Dylan one. But I wound up deleting Dylan one, and it took me out of where I log in at. So I have all my logins and say, let me show you what I'm talking about.
Okay. Let me stop sharing.
Can can you see?
Not yet.
See, I already have it saved. And when I try to log in, it doesn't want to let me log in to this user for which is this account is under. Now, it don't want to go through.
So so why don't you log into that account, right? As the root user and create your Dylan one again. If you've deleted, you can recreate it. So any user that is logged into that account, right, can see based on the permission you've given it, they will be able to see it, right? So
Right.
you can log in as your root user, right? Then create another user for that dealing one if you want to use that same credentials again and use the same password, then you'll be able to log back in with dealing one. Do you understand what I mean?
I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so
Uh,
click on so you're still logging in as an IAM user, right? So you want to log in as a root user. So you see where it says sign in. right? So there you would have to put your whatever your email is and your password for. Okay.
Uh,
So that's usually probably if the password you are using is wrong. And if you don't know your password, just reset your password. Just you can click forget password and walk through the process of resetting it. Then once you are in once you are in, then you can
I think
create
I
an.
have the pass. I
And
have the
are you
password.
working in incognito?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So you're just using the what's it called, the dark mode. Is your Chrome in dark mode or is that
Yeah, it's
incognito?
in dark mode.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay, okay, all right, okay. Yeah. So either just walk through the process of resetting your password. Then once you are in as the root user, you can create another user in there. You can do that off screen. So I don't want you sharing your stuff while you're working on that. So
Okay, all right.
just stop sharing. Once you are done, let me know.
Okay, I will do.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Hello, Angie. How are you? Okay. Let me see. How do you usually go about proof of concept? Do you use PowerPoint presentation? Uh, so someone asks, how do I use, how do I go about proof of concept at work? Um, at work, we really don't use PowerPoint, because, I mean, when you work as a DevOps engineer, we really don't use PowerPoint a lot. I don't even think I've ever used PowerPoint, but we can use we use things like obviously uh what is it, Confluence is a good documentation. So in the tech space, they have different softwares you can use for that. One of them is Confluence. I may say draw.io, that's another one. So proof of concept can just be you create the reference architecture, and on the reference architecture you document pretty much the flow chart of how everything works. And so the proof of concept will be one, or usually in two parts when we are work on it. One is documentation, and the other one is the demo part. So you guys give me a second. My wife had to do something. My son is crying. Just a second. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. So, yeah, so the documentation, when we do proof of concept, is usually in two parts. The first part is you work on the documentation. So the documentation, usually whatever company you use will have their own documentation process, like whatever they use. There's different ones out there. There's wikis, there is Confluence, there is SharePoint. So there's just different plus documentation softwares out there. So the most popular one that I've seen is Confluence. Let me show you. And you guys can download Confluence now. I mean, it's not download. You can sign up. It's free. You just use your Google account to sign up and you can use it. So you see how when I was working on this Kubernetes project, how I just was documenting like so this was kind of like a proof of concept because I haven't worked on it before. So when I was doing my research, the things I was learning when I was testing it, I was just documenting it down. So, and so your proof of concept, the documentation part would most likely come in a form like this. It will be a document that other people can read. They can, on a Confluence page like this, other people will have access to it. They can provide feedback. If they have access to edit it and modify things in there, they can modify. So it will be just a space where you guys can collaborate. So that's why PowerPoint doesn't really work in the tech space when you are working on proof of concept, because whatever document you are proposing for that proof of concept would be a document that other people would need access to and you guys can collaborate on. So this is one thing you can use Confluence. So another thing I like about it is it helps you document everything neatly, and space where you have to add code or commands for different commands you need to run at that point. It has it has the ability to put those information in there. So that's another reason why I like it, because you can see I have some commands that I have to run here and I have some codes that I've pasted here. So this is the first part of it, of the proof of concept. It's just documenting the steps. Then once you are done with this, let's say you guys it goes through the review process and everything and approve. Then the second part will be the demo part. So it would actually be to be it will be to implement this in a sandbox environment using whatever you've documented in your on this page. Whatever you've documented, then you will just try to deploy it in a sandbox environment. And if everything goes well, then you guys pretty much roll it up from dev sandbox to dev to prod. So that's pretty much how, at least when I've worked on proof of concept, that's how I've worked on it. Yeah, but in the tech space, you won't see PowerPoint presentation at all because there's so many things you have to do. Um, the PowerPoint is not really an effective way of presenting something. Okay. Does anyone else have any question? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm ready, Z. I
Okay.
logged into another screen.
Okay,
Well,
sure.
another profile.
All right, cool.
And it deleted my cluster. See, I don't have my cluster, and I know I did. I made it. Do I have to make another cluster?
Are you in the right region?
Hold on. Nope. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what questions do you have about it? I'll scroll down. It's been a while since I even worked on this. I don't even think I remember where most of it stuff is. So you in your cluster, go to, I think it's under compute. Node.
And it was saying that I needed a token.
It's okay.
Yeah. If you
Token.
look in the Slack, I had took a picture of it, but I had deleted the IAM user, but I used the IAM user that I wanted to use for this project, but it kept reference to Dylan one, and I don't know why it was doing that. Your current part doesn't have access to the Kubernetes. Okay. Yeah. Let me see.
Where did you post it in Slack?
Said it again.
Where did you post it in Slack?
Uh,
Is it in the DevOps group or is it directly to me?
I think it's directly to you. Let me see.
Okay. Let me see.
Or is that a you? Or what's happening? Because what's happening is trying to help with it.
Yeah, so that's not.
Yeah. See. But that's when I had deleted the Dylan one, and I was
So
trying
that
to
is
use the
probably
cloud.
this is probably saying that this is probably because your account is probably logged out or something. This has nothing to do with the Kubernetes project. So
Right.
this is just
Right.
your
What?
this is just as has to do. This is it's saying error loading your cluster. Your account may have timed out, but sometimes it stays like that. You have to refresh and see if it actually logged you out. You understand?
Yeah, I
So
do.
this error message you are showing me in that picture is
Yeah.
just saying it can't load your cluster. And it could be because if you leave your screen for a while, it would have timed out, but it will still show you the screen. But when you click the refresh button, that's when you actually notice that you are logged out.
But as you see, it's still saying add one.
That is add-ons. Those are
Well,
just like
add on.
those are just things you can add. It's fine. That one is
Okay.
not. There's nothing there. There's those aren't errors. So add-on is just like you can add extra additional things to your cluster. But it's not the error in their picture is looks more like a timeout that your account is logged out. So
Okay.
as long as you follow the process in the project,
Hmm.
everything should work exactly how it is intended. So um yeah, so that picture you just showed me, that one just it's just your account is logged out, but you still kind
But
of
if
like add access to it.
but what about this? It said your current AI input that doesn't have access to the Kubernetes objective and the cluster. This may be due to a current user role mission to describe the cluster resources, not have entry into the cluster or configuration map.
So this user you are using to log in, what permission does the user have?
Yeah, it doesn't it should have, well, not this, because I couldn't log into the Dylan one. And but it's still referenced to uh this number right here. And that's how I was able to log into it. But I had everything under Dylan one. But when I deleted Dylan one, I couldn't have access to Dylan one. And
Okay,
while we was waiting, I didn't want to do credentials and all that kind of stuff. I just logged into another one under a different email address,
but
but it's still giving me this.
but when you log the root account is how you can log into the account. But with the root account, you can create any user in the account. They will have access to the same thing as long as you give them permission,
All
the
right.
right permission. So whether you have a user called Dylan1 or network Dylan, is they can all still have access to the same resource as long as you give them the access to that resource.
Okay, well, I gotta log into Dylan one then. All right.
No,
Well,
you don't have to log
yeah.
into Dylan1. You can give whatever user you have here access, the same access Dylan1 has.
Okay.
Don't get So that's what I'm saying. I feel like at this with this Kubernetes project, there is still like some learning gaps you still have with things like IAM, just like how IAM and the account creation and all that stuff works. So it will probably be, I'll say, in my own personal opinion, I'll say you should probably take a break from this Kubernetes project and do more of like the lower projects again and work your way back up to this
Okay.
Kubernetes project. So that way you will understand some of because some of the stuff I always say is like the reason why I prefer the reason why I prefer those lower projects to the bigger projects is just because you have Kubernetes project on, I'm not speaking to you directly, I'm speaking to everyone in general. Just because you guys have Kubernetes project on your resume does not mean you're gonna get a job. So you guys don't make a mistake of trying to put the biggest thing and the biggest thing and the biggest thing you can put on your resume. If you know those things, fine. You will know them at some point, but what would help you and increase your chance of getting a job is the fundamentals, is the foundational stuff, understanding how things work. Things like if someone say you should configure, how does AWS CLI work? You understand? Just
Yeah.
simple things like that. So that is why I focus more on those things when I was building my skills before even this Kubernetes project. I only worked on it one time. I've never worked on Kubernetes at work because they don't use it at work. Unless if you guys are working for a big tech company that they have a bunch of stuff going on, they'll use Kubernetes. But for when you guys work for smaller companies where you guys have one or two applications that only has like 10, 20, 30, or how many users it has, Kubernetes is an overkill. So a lot of companies don't even use it, right? I worked on this Kubernetes project at once. Even if I have to look at it, do it again, I will have to go watch my own videos to remember what I did. So when it comes to my skill sets, it is a small part of my skill set, but my skill set is really more on understanding the basics, right? Just like when you are configuring your IAM user in your account, that you guys should understand, okay, this is how IAM user in my account works. So I would say you should probably just leave the Kubernetes project for now and redo some of the lower projects and just work your way back up there. So
All right.
that being said, with your account, right? When you create an AWS account, you have the root user, which is the root user is how the root user is the account that you use to log in. That is the account you are seeing that ID there, right? Anyone can,
Right.
it's just like when you sign up for anything, whatever email you use to sign up for that thing, that's in AWS, that's your root user, right? So now you are logged in as your root user, right?
Yeah.
So you can now go into your IAM and create that Dylan one again. If that Dylan one is not there, you can create as many users as you want in there and give them as whatever credentials you have. That is what you are using to log in. So you can see all the users you have now, and you can see that Dylan one is not in this account.
No, because I deleted it.
Yeah. So if you want to create it again, you can create it again.
Right. But I was ain't trying to create it. I was just trying to use it for this cloud project user right here.
Hmm?
Yeah, I was trying to use that I am for this cloud project user. That's the reason why that that I had deleted it because it kept reference in my cluster. It kept reference to Dylan one, and I didn't want it to reference to Dylan one. I wanted to reference to the cloud project user.
And that is going to be based on whatever IAM. Remember when we discussed this in the past, like whatever IAM user you configured on your computer, that is what is going to pick up. It doesn't randomly pick up anything, any IAM user in your account if you didn't configure it on your computer.
I configured it and I understood it for what you were saying for as making CLI and IAM users and I use that, but I just kind of bummed out. I got to go back and do all of it all over.
No, the
So
stuff you have to do, it is just an important step you have to understand, right? It's an important step you have to understand. These are users in your AWS account you are seeing here.
Yeah.
If if you want any of these users to authenticate to AWS from your computer, then you have to configure their access key and secret access key on your computer.
Right.
So if you are trying to do anything and you see that it is saying dealing one, right? You need to go and
Yeah.
check on your computer and see what you configured there and update your access key there. It has nothing to do with your AWS account.
Okay.
So I'll send you that link. I'll send you that link for the IAM user and the IAM user stuff and how to configure the CLI. I think you should watch it again. I think that's just the step you are missing. Is I mean, it's something we discussed the last time when you had this question. So remember when I said on the home directory on your computer, that is where you see what CLI you configured there. If you're having any issues authenticating AWS CLI, you just go to the home directory on your computer and see what CLI you configured there. You remember that? I
Yeah.
can, so you see that folder that your file explorer. Remember when you go in your file explorer and you go into the home directory on your computer?
Yeah.
So you can see now you only have a default credentials there, right?
Yeah.
So um so that default credentials you have to it belongs to an IAM user in your on your in your account that you've taken the access key and you've configured it on your computer. So that
Right.
means you are saying
Right.
that this is this user's credentials I want to use to authenticate every time I authenticate with to into my
Right.
AWS account. Right. Okay.
Yeah, this user is for the cloud project,
Okay.
the cloud project user.
Okay. So where were you saying Dylan one?
I deleted it. I deleted it and they don't have it up here because at first it had both of them. And
Yeah,
that's why
and
it
that
was
is
giving
fine. That is fine. You can have as many um credentials configured here as you want. That's
right,
fine. If you want to use whatever you want to use, you just have to. So if you see the default there, right? The default means that when you type AWS CLI command,
right.
the default
Hmm.
will automatically use the default credentials to authenticate. But if you have Dylan one there, if you want to use that credentials, you have to specify that profile name when you type your AWS CLI command.
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah. I understood that and it's on my I understand that. And it's on
So,
my
so,
PowerShell. That's where I
so,
configured that.
so what issue on your project exactly were you having that made you felt like you need to delete one?
Uh,
What did you run that was giving you that you,
yeah, it was here. And me and Wishap, we was trying to figure it on out.
what were you trying to figure out? I don't see anything wrong in here. Everything looks fine.
Yeah, but I didn't have like this the ones and the compute. I didn't have no ones and nothing. I wanted to be clear, where it's be easy
It's
while I can go on to the
it,
next step.
it's not gonna be that this is just an add-on, right? It's just
Right,
like it's just like if you get a phone and you get a case and you get an earphone, right? It's not this is not going to hurt your deployment. Is this is just saying you have one add-on that you added to it. This is not an error.
okay,
So you just continue with your deployment, right? If you have an error, then you can present whatever error you have. The add-on is just an add-on. I mean it's just an additional thing you can add on your cluster. It is not an error. But I
Okay.
just even feel like you should probably more focus on some of the basic projects, some of the lower ones, so that way you get a better understanding on, because the Kubernetes project is the last project in the it's almost the last project before the CI/CD. And I've always said that I care more that you guys understand what you are doing, because if you're at the this level of the Kubernetes project, I want you to understand some of the things you should understand
Now,
at the projects that was before the Kubernetes project. Because then you
I had I had a
go
I
ahead.
had one more. I have one more. I get what you're saying on that. I get what you're saying on that, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do it all over for the little program, the little projects. But on this particular project, I couldn't use on Secret Manager. I know you said for as the namespace gotta matches the on the Secret Manager, but where do I put the namespaces at on here? Do I put it here? Because my namespace on my account is going to be different from rent zone because it's going to be different because I
What
changed the name on it.
what namespace did you configure?
The namespace I
No,
configure.
in your manifest in the commands, when the commands here in that deployment file, when we run that, what did you call your namespace?
Uh, I called it rent zone.
Okay, and so can you click on that deployment.yaml? Where is that on the list of commands that see right there, right? Your namespace is rent zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
On line 5,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So when you run, where are the list of those commands that I gave you guys to run? The commands that we were running to in our deployment. Do you have them here? Okay.
Yeah. I see
All
it.
right. Right there. Yeah, it was that one. No, not this one. The first one you clicked on. No. Yeah, that one. Right. Oh, there's a command in there that's supposed to set your namespace. So maybe you have a scroll down. You're scrolling too fast. Just use are you using do you have like a mouse? You're using your scroll wheel, or you just
On my
uh
pad.
oh
This is my laptop.
your pad. Okay. Just scroll up. There's a command in there where we set our namespace. Right there on line 32.
Yeah.
Right. So that command, that's the command you run to set your namespace, right? Your
Right.
namespace will be whatever name you give that environment variable up there, which is rent.
Right.
On line 25, you call it rent zone.
Right. But my secret manager, do I have to change? Because that namespace is where that name in the secret manager is going to be different from, I don't know if it's going to reference to any one of these rent zone EKL deployments. Do I have to change anything for us if in secret manager or that doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter because they are two separate things.
Okay.
The
Okay. All right. Cool.
namespace, the namespace
That's what
is
I was.
so if you are working on, from what I understand, and I have limited knowledge on Kubernetes too. So in Kubernetes, you can have multiple deployments, right? Within Kubernetes, you can have multiple deployments. The namespace is how you can group the deployment, separate your deployment. So you can have one deployment that is dealing, let's say you have an application where you have a coffee shop. You can have one deployment for your coffee shop. You have another deployment for a donut shop, right?
Yeah.
The namespace is how you can say, oh, in this namespace, I am deploying my coffee shop deployment. In this namespace, I'm deploying my donut shop deployment. Um, it is two separate things. So within Kubernetes, you can create namespace for different deployments that you are doing. So when you want to deploy something, you just pick the namespace you want to deploy your um work your work in, right? So it has nothing to do with the secrets manager. The name here doesn't have to match the secret manager.
Okay. All right.
Namespace is
Cool.
just a random name you are giving your project within
Okay.
Kubernetes. Yeah.
All right. That's
So
what I thought that's what I figured it was, but not sure. Okay. All
yeah.
right.
So
Well,
a lot of this stuff, there's documentation for it you can look at, right? But I'll also say like if you are working on this project and you just say, you know what, I want to work on this project to get it done, the least you can do is just um try to follow what I'm doing step by step. Then if you run into an error, when let's say you run this command and you run into an error, then you can let me know, okay, I'm on this step, I ran this command, this is the error I have, then we can troubleshoot from there. But if you are seeing certain things in your console, like where you were seeing those add-ons and those ones, those are not errors. So don't focus your attention on those, but just continue your deployment following the steps that I've provided. And if you run into an error at any point, then we can look at that particular error. But
now,
then, but
it I get I understand that. I understand that. Now it was now the my console was saying I needed another token. Do I have to get another GitHub token and do all that all over again?
no, well, that's why I said that the stuff you saw on the picture, I'm saying that was because your account was logged out and you were still using it.
Right. Okay.
So
All right.
when you log back in, you don't see that anymore, right? If you
Okay.
let's say you logged in your AWS console and you left it, you didn't touch it for a while, you came back, it will still show you as if you are logged in. And when you try to do things, it's telling you the token AWS is saying you need is your it's just a it's just how AWS worded it, right? Pretty much what they are telling you is that you are logged out, you need to log back in.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. I get it. I get it. I gotta do Dylan one all over again. Okay. All right.
All right. So just follow the steps that I have in the project. Then if you are working on a particular steps and a particular step you run into an error, let me know. Then we'll troubleshoot from there. But it doesn't
Okay.
look like you are having any issue.
Right. Okay. All right. That'll work. Um,
All right, cool. All right.
appreciate it.
No problem. Does anyone else have any question?
No, but I have a suggestion.
What's your suggestion?
Have you been using like the OneNote I was telling you to use on your computer?
No. No, I have not.
Now that is something that I was telling you that's really important because when you having these issues, they seem like it's because it's the second time you're having this issue. Putting this stuff in your can I share my screen real quick, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Okay. It says I cannot show the screen share. You gotta stop sharing your screen, Dylan.
Okay, let me.
I, can you share it now?
Let me check. Hold on. I should be able to share it now. Hold on. Okay, disable. You cannot start screen
No,
share while the other
try
process
now.
is sharing. Okay.
Try now.
Okay, here we go. All right. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is just my suggestion. And I've done this for years. Like I have stuff back from when I worked at Microsoft that I can go in here in my other OneNotes and I
Mm-hmm.
screenshot everything. So when you're going through the project, I recommend that you screenshot every step because then you can go back and reference if you did this program, if you did this project, and let's say you did the project with Dylan 1 or Dylan 2, you can go back and see, okay, when did I do this project with? So that if you go and do this project again, you already know that, you know, that that whatever you did before, you can go back and backtrack it and
Mhm.
see exactly what user you used, stuff like that. And then also you can also, I'm not sure if you did like the if you did the extensions I told you to put in here, you also would have this. If you go to AWS and put these extensions in, as soon as you go to your profile, it'll tell you what profiles that's there. So like I have a Terraform one that I have for programming user.
Oh
I
wow,
have
this
my
is
default
nice.
one.
I
You know
need
what
to
I'm
do
saying?
this. Yeah, this
So
is nice.
it's just easier because I know it can get a little confusing with the users. And then I also recommend like go back, Dylan, and just review Stefan's part on IM users. And
Mhm.
while you looking at that as well, screenshot what he's telling you to do, and just organize your OneNote. OneNote is very good. Like, look at this, all the projects that I did with AZ, and even additional projects I did on my own. And I walk through the steps while I'm doing them. I
Yeah.
screenshot it. You know what I'm saying? So that if I'm having an issue, I can go back and backtrack
Mhm.
where I'm
Mhm.
having the issue at. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
And be able to fix it because I'm literally screenshotting. I know it take a little more time, but it's
It,
fine. Like there's no rush. Like the time is
exactly.
don't work about the time. Like that it's you learning what you need to learn. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
don't rush through it and screenshot everything because let me tell you something. When you get on the job, whether I know you say you want to just at least start out with help desk, this is all you're gonna be doing. If you when you document stuff that you troubleshooted in your environment, this is what you're gonna be doing. You're gonna document it, you're gonna screenshot it, and this is what Microsoft, a lot of Microsoft engineers we use. Like we use this heavily, OneNote, because it's just so easy to be able to document and put everything inside there and organize it. Like I'm able to go into my old cases and bring up case numbers, and it can show me what issue a user had and whether it was a workaround. And you document it inside your ticketing system, but this is right here something that you can take with you. You can sign in. If I could sign in from anywhere on my OneNote and be able to reference anything. Like when I go to my interviews, I reference my OneNote for something. So that's why I said just like start snipping, use that snippet tool, take it, snip it, and throw it inside there for each step. So you can because that step will show you okay what user you use. So, you know, so that you can and once after a while you doing this, it's gonna become repetitive and you're gonna remember. Because it's not hard. It's
Yeah.
just you have to find a process that's gonna be easy for you to understand it. So
Mhm.
you don't keep running into the same errors.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. So thank you so much. So
mhm.
you see what Shamika is showing you? That is, see, I don't know if you were listening because I know you were on the call. So remember when I was talking to Just Aman just a couple of minutes ago, and I was saying that he said he's still doing his Udemy course, and I was telling him that I appreciate the fact that he's doing that, and
Mhm,
he should take his time to learn as much as he can learn at that stage. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
mhm,
So you see how Shamika has documented everything. That is the biggest part of everything we are doing here. Trust me, it's not about completing the project. It's just you having a process of learning because there's a lot of stuff they will give you at work that you won't know how to do,
mhm,
right? But what is helping me every day at work is the fact that because I know how to do things just like how Shamika showed you. And I just showed you guys in my Confluence when I was documenting stuff for my Kubernetes. That is the biggest part about it. It's about just having a process you use to solve problem. I've
mhm,
always said as a cloud engineer, you are more of a problem solver.
mhm,
So when you guys are working on the project, I really, and I'll say it with love and respect, I always say it, I don't care that you guys complete the project. If you complete the project and you don't know what you did, then it doesn't really make me feel good or happy. But I care that every single project you complete, you and I can have conversation about it. You know exactly what you're doing. For example, this is not directed at anyone. And I'll just use someone I've worked with in the past, right? That and Titus has worked with some people too where he's always honest with them and he's told and we've discussed this in the past like pretty much the what I'm trying to say is if projects are meant for each project you are supposed to learn one thing from it and in the next project you build on that thing you learned and in the next project you build on it, right? That is how it's supposed to work. So if you are on let's say you are on a Terraform project, and on the Terraform project, you are now asking me, how do I create an IAM user? That is telling me that all the things you were supposed to do in this lower project, you didn't do it, and you didn't learn all the things you need to learn. So it is very important that you learn all the things you need to learn in the lower projects, those basic things. So because those are all the things you are using in the advanced project, it's really not hard at all. Like Shamika said, it's not hard. It's just you understanding the little process, right? By the time you guys finish project one, at that point, I expect you guys, maybe even not project one, I'll say maybe Terraform project. By the time you finish Terraform project, I expect you guys to understand everything that has to do with creating your IAM user, configuring your IAM user's credentials on your computer, and not even having issues with that. Let's say you run a command, a CLI command that doesn't work, you know automatically, okay, let me go check what IAM user I configure. I expect you guys to know the difference between if you see a default profile in there and you see another profile, multiple profile with different names. Those at certain point, what I'm trying to say is at certain point when you are working on the advanced project, I'm holding you accountable to understand the things you are supposed to understand at the lower project. It's just like saying you are in the 6th grade, but you don't know what you were supposed to know in the 1st grade. Because when you go through your interview, they don't ask you big questions. Really, they don't. They're not going to ask you, oh, what's the biggest thing? Something about Kubernetes that they're not going to ask you. What they're going to ask you is the basic questions. Oh, okay, so tell me how you configure an IAM user's credentials on your computer. You know, the project that I just got on with my company, guess what they asked me the entire time? Question about Terraform. Oh, so what is the Terraform state file? Um, so when you're storing your Terraform state file, where do you store it? So we are trying to, how do you prevent multiple users from applying to your Terraform deployment at the same time? Eh, I can guarantee you guys that almost 90% of interview I've ever had, they always asking basic questions. Basic question. Even when someone told me the other time about they missed an interview, and I was like, okay, let me see the question they asked you. And it was Terraform questions. I was like, these are basic Terraform questions. So, which is why I always say focus on the fundamentals, focus on the lower things, because the lower things is what turns into a big project, right? So, I mean, I'm pleading with you guys, take your time. There have been people that needed more time to finish their project. If I have to renew your access, I'll renew it. I really don't, I care that you, I only care that I see the effort from you. If I see the effort from you, I'm 100% more than willing to help you. Trust me, you've already made the initial investment by signing up. And me, I'm not here to try to take as much money from you as I can. But I care that you guys get what you are paying for here, right? So if you need more time, I'll give you more time. But I don't like if you guys are rushing through it and you are not understanding what I expect you to understand at certain point. So this is not directed at you, Dylan, but because
It's,
I say this all the
it,
time, even with some people that have just
it's cool.
dropped out. Is with some people that have just
It's cool.
dropped out. Um,
I'm just learning, so it's cool.
yeah,
But to Shamika, um, I remember when we tried to do the OneNote and I had problems accessing the OneNote. I logged into it, I paid for it, but it don't really tells me anything. It don't
So,
really it don't
you
really do
so what we
anything
do,
for me.
you can
when we
also
finish
use
class today,
Confluence.
yeah, you can
Confluence is
do it.
also free.
Right,
Confluence is free. You can
Huh?
sign up with your Confluence, the one I just showed you.
right.
Let me show you here. Confluence is also
Can I share my screen?
sure, sure. Let me
And
start
if,
here.
like I said, I'll be on today, so I'm just getting back to doing my projects. I was doing everything else for this other stuff, but um I can jump on. We could jump on after this as well, and I can show you how to use OneNote because it's easy. It's just probably you probably that's why I say you need to like just organize. Maybe put your stuff in like a secret manager, password manager, so you know where
Right.
everything is at because you probably put in the wrong acts and manager, password manager, or something there. But it's not hard. I mean, it's not hard. Like you see right now, you see it says new. If you clicked on new right here, if you clicked on new, All you're doing is just
But
and
it
so
still
remember,
is showing that's the question mark there as if it's not logged in yet. So he has to probably fix that.
yeah. So either that or and then well, yeah, click on that first. Let me see, because if you pay, you say you pay for the cloud service. Yeah, so you have to sign in. So you got to sign in with your what's name. So sign in first.
Save it on your PC. Use this PC.
Right, and yeah, use this PC because PC like the OneDrive is annoying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Use this PC and then sign in on as well.
Yeah, just
Sign
give it a name. You
Add a
give it,
name.
yeah. Great notebook. Yep.
and then make sure you sign in because
Then it
there's
wants you
two
to sign in
OneNote
your
because
account.
OneNote's right because OneNote they have a client application and they have the cloud. I was telling you to use the OneNote cloud because you can log into your OneNote from anywhere. So
Okay.
yeah, you just gonna put your yeah. So OneNote create no. There you go. Okay, problem
And there you
reason
go.
include. Okay, so press OK.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you are having issue just signing in your account. First, you
Yeah,
have to
we'll
just,
fix that. Yeah.
yeah, you
We'll
just have
we'll
to
we'll,
sign in
we'll
your
take a look
account.
at it.
Yeah.
We'll take a look
Yeah.
at it.
So
I don't
once
have
you
no
sign in your account, you should have access to everything. I
see,
really like
but
how, go ahead, go ahead. Sorry.
this is what we left off at Shamika for is um signing in, and it kept loading, kept waiting. I think my internet was bad at that time, but we
Okay.
tried to
All
do
right.
it from the OneDrive, and I never really needed it for anything. I
Well,
just
you got to
paste and
text me,
copy.
love, because you ain't paying for the services. You got to text me and let me know because you already paying for the program, so you might as well be using it. And I'm telling you, like it really is, like it's just like he said with Confluence, it really is very helpful because you could just make templates and I got
Gotcha,
different topics. You
gotcha,
see, like,
gotcha,
so
gotcha. That's
it's going to
cool.
really help
That's
because
cool.
I think that's the problem. I see when you put your folders up, you have a lot of folders everywhere, and when you're not organized, that can drive you crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
got a lot of stuff
Project,
everywhere. I
yeah,
got a lot of stuff everywhere.
because
Mm-hmm.
you
I
don't
do.
know where to go to find the references
Yeah,
to get the
yeah.
references.
I put most of my stuff on my notepad,
Hmm.
man, when I don't see it that I don't need it, I kind of
Right,
delete it because
but
I'm
see,
already
like
on
if
to
you put it
something
in
else that I
OneDrive,
need.
when you put it in OneDrive, you can literally name the template, the project you're working on. So if you're working on
Mm-hmm.
AZ's first project, you work on the second project, and
Uh,
everything will be in that first project. So then now, if you on did the Kubernetes one, you can
Well,
go
well,
back
well,
to
we
that
definitely got to set
template.
that on now. I like
Yeah,
the organization of it. So yeah, we can set
yeah,
that on. Not a problem.
yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah. So I would say what Shamika is telling Dylan, I'm telling everyone that is 70% of what you guys have to do. It's that important in just being organized because and documenting every single steps. So this is how it works. This is how I did it. The first time, right, I would follow my own project step by step how I'm doing it, then documenting it like as Shamika did. Then when you guys go work on your assignment, you are going to deploy the application not using my videos but using your notes, right? Then see if you can deploy using your notes. Then
Yes.
the third time you go deploy it, find out a whole new application on yourself. There's a bunch of them online. Then the third time you go deploy it, see if you can deploy it using the reference architecture. But you can still reference your note for certain commands because I don't memorize command. And that is how you learn. Really, by the time you do it those 3 times, it is already part of who you are. It becomes second nature. Then you move on to the next project, and you move on to the next project. And guys, that is how you build your knowledge as you go. I'm telling you, you guys, I don't know it all, but I do it exactly the same way Shamika just showed you. I document the stuff. And because I do it so often, it just seems like I know a lot, but I really don't know a lot. I keep telling you guys, I'm just a regular person like you guys, but everything I've achieved is just based on effort and is also based on being patient, having time, and willing to do the work. So that is what if you guys notice in the beginning of the project, this program, that's what I said in the first video. That's all I need from you guys, just that patience and be willing to take your time and go through the information. I really don't want anyone, and I'll refund anyone's money that, and I've done it in the past. Anyone that wants to join today and you want to jump from, I'm not saying that's what you did, but I have people that I don't like working with. Someone that wants to sign up and go from the first project to the Terraform project and to the Kubernetes project without trying to get a full understanding of how everything works. Because it's just difficult for me to try to mentor them that way. And it is just difficult all around. And I can assure you that those people, they always end up giving up along the way. But I'm saying that if you follow the process, it's really not hard. You will pick up certain things that will be part of who you are, and you will just keep building on it as you go. I'm telling you guys, I don't know it all, but it's just documenting the same way Shamika was showing you was the same exact thing I was showing you guys in the Confluence. I'm not even as organized as Shamika but I document stuff on Confluence and I just go from there. So please, for those that are listening, if you really want to get to the goal, that's what it's going to require. It's going to require patience. It's going to require you to take your time and try to understand it. So remember what I said, focus more on comprehension instead of completion. I don't care that you complete all the project if you can't tell me what you did or you understand everything you did in the project.
And just let y'all know,
Exactly.
I still haven't completed all the projects because I just
Exactly.
take my time and I just really like soak up all the knowledge, like and right now because I'm in doing my classes, and why I do have to also do projects on Azure, but it's okay because I literally like Az, like I just said, like you like a mentor. Some mentors like they just okay about the money, but when you care about the results, that's when you really have more quality. You can separate you and your quality of this boot camp versus somebody who's just care more so about the money because like you always say, like it's not if you get a job, it's when you get a job. And
Mm-hmm.
my combination of what I learned here, where I made my past work experiences, have put me in a position where sacrifice that I had to take my time, because you be like, you're trying to get to the money. So I get y'all trying to just start
Mm-hmm.
right at one project, but you really do yourself disservice by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, you can get charged a lot of money from AWS because if you don't know from start one when he said go here and make sure you delete these services and these services are running, now you got $100 bill on AWS and you
Mm-hmm.
can't figure it out
Mm-hmm.
what's going on because
Mm-hmm.
you don't skip all these videos instead of starting at that start here. If you
Mm-hmm.
already paid money for the boot camp, just start here. Like I'm telling you, like I've been right, Az. I think I've been rocking with you now almost 2 years. God,
I
it's been
know
that long,
it's been a while.
almost a minute. Yeah,
It's been a while. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so well, so thank you for sharing your notes, and that's what I expect. Even if you guys are not going to be as detailed, but I expect you that every single project you complete, you have some type of documentation on it, and it is something, yes, like Shamika said, you can refer back to, and every project you should be able to explain it because that's the goal. When you walk in your interview and they start asking you guys, tell me about yourself, right? you, in your mind you are describe you guys go and listen to all the projects my interview that I recorded that is in the book camp, right? I'm talking about my projects. I'm not talking about anything I did at work. There's never been any time I talked about anything I did at work. Maybe I might add one or two things in it if I'm working on something cool at work right now and I'm doing an interview, I'll add that to it, but really I'm always describing the projects. So if you do, let's say you do the Terraform project, you completed your 100%, you understand it, that is what you will be describing during your interview. You are not talking about anything big. Don't try to sound smart. I mean, you are smart and you are intelligent, but don't try to impress them too much by trying to think, by thinking you have to say the biggest thing. That just talk about what you know. And I'm telling you guys, talking about, oh, I've deployed a dynamic application using this reference architecture. And in my reference architecture, we have VPC with public and private subnets. In my private subnet, I have my servers, and in the other private subnet, I have my database. Some other services that I use is application load balancer, auto scaling group, and I can deploy this reference architecture using Terraform and CloudFormation, and I can also deploy this application using container. That is good. Trust me. From there, they will start asking you specific questions. Okay, you say you've done this. Tell me more about this. That's really how you make it through an interview. Honestly, Shamika said it best. It's really not hard. You guys think it's hard. It's really not hard. But when you pick up the little knowledge as you go, those knowledge turns into one big knowledge. And that's when you realize, oh, okay, it's really not just that. It's really not hard. I just need to understand this concept, understand that concept. And once you pick all those little concepts, you understand them. That's how you really become a cloud engineer, really. You are more of a problem solver. So I'm sorry for my ranting, but I really just want you guys to take your time, really.
And this I could tell you a little bit about the job now. So it's I had got a job. Well, I've actually interviewed for a couple of jobs. So I was missing MIA for the last 2 Saturdays, but I had a couple of interviews between last week and next week. So I don't even know. I might even have another offer or maybe another offer. Who knows? But the one that I accepted that I'm working on now it's a government contract with the Social Security Board.
Oh, good.
Lados is the prime contractor. So it is so funny because it was so crazy yesterday because it was I was starting out um with another position, a supporting position like a tier 2, and I got bumped up to a tier 3
Oh, wow.
because I have the experience with AWS. And like you said, when you talk it and you organize, it comes across easily. They like, okay. And actually, like, it's going to be for a contact center as a service,
Mm-hmm.
AWS Connect.
Oh, good.
But they're using a lot of services like Poly, Lex, um, Firehose, Kinesis. So this is why I like, again, like when you tell people inside the program to when you recommend no other services, yeah, I really need to follow that because you're not gonna be able to. And when we do projects, we take a long time to do each project, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not gonna be able to cover every service in AWS, but being able to give you that other resource as far as going and learning Linux and going and learning the whole foundation of AWS, you kind of be familiar with all that. And because I did that, took my certification, it's like that, though all those services are already familiar to me. So when they was talking, I'm like, yeah, I know that one. Yeah, I know that one. Every service they put on this contract for Social Security Board, I have already did some type of lab, something or read up on it and know what it is and know how to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So, Shamika, can you tell how long you've been in the process with you being employed before? And I mean, if you care to share, and or just what that the
yes.
process has been at before with you working and with the layoff and stuff, and how long
Mhm.
that process took to where you are now.
Yes, thank you for reminding me of my testimony. I was laid off during the big tech layoff in 2022. I literally almost 2 years without a job. Only thing I was doing is just doing freelance work and stuff. But and I had got some job offers, but it wasn't something that because my mindset is I don't want to be back in this position. And what AZ always preached to us in here is learn the skills so you can monetize your skills. So when
Mm-hmm.
I joined this program, my mindset wasn't just to get another job. It was
Mm-hmm.
to monetize my skills. And
Mm-hmm.
because of that, I might have had to go through the sacrifice. I even actually went through Proscolas to get my certification, so I didn't have to pay for the certification.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just things that I did that, and then one thing like I said about this program, he don't deter you from utilizing other people's services if it's going to help you. So I use a combination of the services, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell you, like, it's one time I dropped out because I would tell you, AZ would tell you, I was like, I can't afford it every month, AZ, because I didn't know what my money was gonna be like. I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
afford it. So he worked with me, and so that I can get back in the program because I just stayed with him. I stayed with him like, hey, listen, my money's tight this month. I don't know if I can, because that like I started out with the boot camp and then money started getting tight. So then I ended up switching over to just a monthly plan. And I was like, I don't want to mess up your situation, what you got going on, AZ, but my money is tight right now. He was like, don't worry about it. We'll work something out. Just take your time. And when you have it, we'll work out what we can do. And because of that, and that mindset he gave me, and what I learned when I went to Perscolas, I was able to help other people, and I brought people in from Perscolas, like David. He's not here today, but
Yeah, I know
David
David.
and other people that reached out to him because of so much I learned in that little bit of time the first time I joined the boot camp. And I was able to help other people out and bring them in like, look, he's good. When you have to listen, they ain't do it because he not charging tens of thousands of dollars for this stuff. And you doing real world projects. Like this stuff
Hmm.
is really real. Like when I was able to sit down and talk to them, like they was like, wow, like I knew more than me and another guy. We the only ones that they made a position for us
Wow.
for as a tier 3 engineer.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
So, and like I said, like it just, and this is just, contract with the federal government. But once you monetize your skills, you literally can go and maybe start bidding on your own contracts.
Exactly.
Get the relationships with the people you work with, whether it be at the job or especially these federal contracts. And then you take that and you start learning how to write proposals and you can get in subcontracting or prime contract because literally like the federal contract they have to by law they have to give at least 23% to small businesses. So when AZ put that bug in my ear, like, look, monetize your skills. I'm not just thinking no more as an employee. I'm thinking like, look,
Mhm.
I'm gonna make this a business because I'm not gonna be put in this position every 2 years where I'm laid off for something. I'm gonna go after the big day, and I stuck with it and I got it.
Yeah.
I might be a sub on this contract, but I still got it, and I'm able to now pay myself under my business. Yeah, so but that's
Yeah.
all I think.
Thank you so much. So,
Uh-huh.
um, congratulations. I'm very happy for you, and we are all here to support you. So you always remember here.
Thank
So
you.
join anytime you have any questions, but I know you're gonna do real well. Funny enough, everyone that's gotten a job, they always say they're gonna join, to keep joining. Ahmed is the only one that's been doing that, the only one that's been doing that so far.
Oh, no, no, I'm staying here. I'm staying here.
Everybody, but I understand because priorities change. Trust me, I really
Mhm,
do understand. Everybody is always welcome anytime when if they want to come back.
mhm,
But I understand that once you start working, priorities change your direction because now you're still learning, but the way you are learning is different. So
mhm.
you might shift to other methods of learning, which I understand. So congratulations.
Yeah,
I know
but Imma be here. Imma
you're
still
gonna
be here on Saturday because I didn't work Monday through Friday.
I know, yeah. So I know you're gonna do really well.
So Imma be here.
And you guys see that it took her some time, but she's in a position now, and I like the direction you are going with. Yes, for me, that's why I even started sharing some of the investment stuff with you guys. And I felt bad the past couple of weeks. Last week, I felt bad because if someone is new, and since we allocate Saturdays to AWS stuff, I didn't want to be talking about investing all day on Saturday because then I don't want to distract someone that is new that is just trying to get AWS skills. So I'll move the investing to another day. But that's part of the reasons why I'm sharing it with you guys is because I want you guys to have that mindset of monetizing everything when you build a skill and how to monetize that skill to make money from it. Um, the ultimate goal is to just have financial freedom. That's what I'm fighting for, to have financial freedom. Because you can get laid off from your job at any time. They don't owe you an explanation, and they are not going to give you one. And it's almost like even when you get laid off, you'll be treated like a criminal. Because let's say you are in the office and they lay you off, they're going to just give you a box. You're going to put all your stuff in the box and they're going to walk you out the door. It's really mind blowing how people that you smile with every day act like they don't even know you and they treat you that way. So that has happened to me a couple of times. So now that's why I focus on other ways to make money. And when I go to work every day, I really have peace of mind because I'm not stressing about if I lose that job, whether I'm going to be able to pay my bill. So when I lost my last job, they just the same way they schedule random meeting in the morning and as soon as I was working, I was about to log in the meeting and I saw the HR lady there. I knew I was going to about to get laid off or fired or whatever you want to call it. Whether they laid me off or whatever, I still call it being fired. Right. So imagine just getting fired and smiling at the same time because I know I'm good. And something good that came out of that is because I had a different investment strategy before. And after I got laid off, I was like, okay, I need to focus on, instead of getting multiple jobs, let me focus on other ways to make money. And I was doing investing, but I was doing investing long term. At that point, I haven't thought about doing investing on a day to day. So me getting laid off from that job was also what led to learning options trading and trading options on a daily basis. I mean, so far so good, knock on wood. Like since I've been doing options trading, like the potential gain that I've seen is even more than if I was doing 2, 3 jobs. So, but I'm someone that believes that if something happened, if something doesn't work out well now, it's only because something better is gonna work out later on. So I really don't always stress about what is happening right now, but I just always take it like, okay, everything is working for my good, and it's just going to lead to something better. So when you guys feel like your back is against the wall, just ponder. Think about, okay, what can I do? Just always try to improve yourself. I guarantee you there's always something better down the line. For me, the whole getting laid off was just to shift my mindset towards finding another source of making money that is not a check every 2 weeks. Because I had multiple jobs and I was getting check every 2 weeks, I was very relaxed. Almost almost every week I was making money. I would make money from AWS Note stuff. Then I'll make money from my one job. Then I'll make money from my other job. Every week I had checks coming in. But then when one of the checks was taken away, then I just had to find, to be honest, when I lost that job, I was telling my wife I didn't apply to any job because I was like, I need to replace it with a different form of making money that is not coming from a 9 to 5. Because 9 to 5 is good. You guys have 9 to 5. Don't let anyone tell you 9 to 5 is scam. It's needed. But what I'm saying is you can do both. You can do 9 to 5 and also work on other things that is not 9 to 5 that is bringing you money. So that was what that whole experience led to for me. Ahmed, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Aziz. Yeah, I actually asked a question in the chat, but I also wanted to add something.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So you mentioned, well, I still joined the class. So I wanted to add to that comment that, well, I told you one thing when I first joined your class that I was in a boot camp, a whole different boot camp from yours. And what I get there wasn't really what I wanted in the sense that it was a ratio of probably 200 students, ratio one teacher. So at the end of the day, you have no mentorship. It's more like teaching and
Mhm,
just wanted to get by the program. Oh, this is a 3 month batch. Okay, let's just do it. You message a, lecturer or professor or whatever you call them at the time, they don't respond. So you are on your own to figure things out. So when I joined your class, I liked it, you already had something predefined, something we can use to learn. And you have this Saturday section where we can interact and ask questions about job, troubleshooting questions and all sorts. So when I got a job, I think for some time I was kind of carried away. I was like, well, I don't think I need to come back. I've already learned what I wanted to learn and I still have access to the platform. So after some time, I realized, listen, this is a career. It's something that we have to take for life,
mhm,
meaning this is somebody that taught you, which is you. And if you have to distance yourself, it doesn't make any sense because I mean, the fee is almost nothing compared to what I will gain. And it's not just you again, the membership, the students, amazing people. I've interacted with Titus. I think I've interacted with Wahab and a couple of folks that were here before. And I feel like everybody has something to offer. So this is a part of networking, whether or not I have a job or not, So it's really nice for people to come back. You don't have to say anything,
mhm,
you don't have to participate in anything. Just come here, while away time. It's like you're listening to a podcast kind of
mhm,
thing. That's
mhm,
how I see it. And just quite recently, as this was not talking about investment, you can imagine how consistency, kind of help in a way that, well, you are making money now. What do you want to do with it next? Do you want to wait until 3, 4 years later, you look back and say, I should have done this with this money? So when Aziz was talking about investment, I was like, see, this is one of the reasons why I will keep sticking around any day, anytime. And it could be someone else bringing new ideas. So this is how we progress as a career, as an individual, and everything in life. So
Mhm.
congratulations, Shimika. Please don't, I know it gets busy sometimes, but don't stay away too far. And to anybody here as well, if you get a job, please don't stay away too far. You can always come back and learn something. So
Mhm.
that's what I wanted to add, Aziz.
Yeah, thank you,
Oh
Ahmed.
yeah, I'm
Thank
not
you.
going nowhere, man. I'm gonna still be here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys.
And it
Definitely.
don't start for a couple weeks anyway, because I have to go through a security clearance and all that stuff.
Oh
So
yeah.
anyway,
Yeah. Oh yeah. You'll clear those in no time.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys, and even just with helping. I know what happened. Adewale, they always helping. I was trying to help Innocent this week, and I last this week, and it was last week or this week, and I was taking time. And by the time I finally got to him, he said, "Oh, Adewale already helped him," which I appreciate because there's some of, especially you guys that are more advanced. I like the fact that you guys take time out to assist others, even when I don't get to their question on time. You guys have already jumped on a call with them. Titus does that to jump on a call with them, help them look at it. So all that stuff I appreciate. You know, the reason why I have this community is really, you guys notice I'm so terrible at sales because I should really be promoting stuff everywhere and making money and try to get as many people to sign up as I can. But I really don't do that because I know what I'm offering is good and I know this is something that has changed my life. So I just kind of put it out there. Whoever wants to take the chance and sign up, congratulations to them because I know I'm going to teach you more than AWS stuff. That I'm doing, if you ask me, I'll tell you. There's no, and you don't have to pay me for that. Like I didn't have to, you guys didn't have to pay me to tell you guys about my investment plan. And you guys even saw that Palantir company that I told you guys about a couple of weeks ago. And yesterday, the news came out about them, which I really even think by this time next year, if you guys have any type of money, I think you should take a chance on them because I really feel like that company is going to really do well. So God's willing, this time next year, we can come back and talk about, oh yeah, I took, I bought this stock and look at how much it's doing now. Uh, so yes, for me, it's really just, I know where I was before and I know where I am now. And I know the only thing I did is just improving my skills. Build one skills, monetize it. Build more skills, monetize it. So that's what I'm trying to share with you guys too. So that's why I have this community. It's really just a community where you will anything I'm doing that is benefiting me that I'm learning from, I'll teach you guys. I will enlighten you guys. That's like I can't teach you everything, but enlighten you so you can be aware. I feel like I speak for black people because I'm black, and I also speak because I'm African, Nigerian, right? One of the things I realize is we really don't have, at least for me, I didn't have anyone that I trust that could have taught me about investing a long time ago. I would have been a multimillionaire way back when if I had someone that I trust that is saying that, okay, you had all this money, this this is how stock market work. This is someone that can just enlighten me. I didn't have that. And I feel like in our community, talking about money is almost like a taboo. It's like we're very afraid to talk about money and everyone is just always trying to be quiet. But for me, I just always tell you guys, this is how much I made. This is what I'm doing. And if you want to be a part of it, you are more than welcome. So, so this community is more than AWS, even though AWS is the focus. Anything that I'm doing that can get us to our financial goal, that is what I will share with you guys. Because ultimately, for me, I already told Ahmed this when we were talking. I really just want to retire in like 5 years, but I'll still work, but I don't want to have to go to work if I don't want to go to work. Or I'll work at my own terms. Like I really just wish I'd made, because I have big goals. That's why I haven't quit my 9 to 5. I really just want to make as much money as I can make, where I'll just come live every day on AOS Note and talk to you guys every day. If anyone has any question, join. I really just want to do that, because if I'm working for myself, I feel much happy working for myself. I'm setting my own schedule. I can be in Nigeria and be doing my work. But with some 9 to 5 job, I can't really do that. But now I'm not telling you guys quit your 9 to 5. You need it. You will be doing both your 9 to 5 and your side also, until you get to that point where your investments can bring you enough return where you can just live off that. Then that's the type of life I want for myself and my wife and my family in the next couple of years. So, which is why I'm doing this. So this community is just a place where I get to share stuff like that with you guys. And I feel comfortable sharing it here, because we have a relatively small group. So, and I know everyone here is also trying to better themselves. So I don't mind sharing it here. When I post stuff on my social media, I get anxieties because it's too many people. I don't like a lot of people. I had when I had my first Instagram page and a lot of people from Facebook was adding me on it, I deleted the page. I didn't like it. So here is small enough that I can share the information with you guys. And it's just a space where we all trying to get better. When I use AWS, you are learning, investing, or whatever it is. The ultimate goal is that we get to that financially stable place where we can retire sooner. So that's my plan for us here. So you guys don't worry. No matter anything I learn, I'll always share with you guys. And you don't have to pay me anything extra for it. You are already in here. You are already in here. So there's never going to be a time where I'm going to charge you for any knowledge. Anything I want to share, I'll just share it here. And whoever have access to it has access to it. And even if you guys notice, some people before I used to remove people once their membership expired. Now I even stopped doing that. I don't even remove anyone anymore. I just, because I realized that sometimes people you still have to do the work in finding the information. So that's up to you. So now I even stop removing people. I just leave people, whether your access is as expire or not, I'll just still leave everyone. And whatever information I share in here, you guys will still have access to it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, like what you were saying, Az, I seen what you was talking about for as the job and how you would go into and fill out for a job, and how the guy kind of walk you on out of it, and he was treating you like a criminal or whatnot. You know, the next week I seen a girl monetize that and took everything you said word for word on the internet, like she thought of that,
Wow.
and she didn't think of that just because you put it on the internet, or you put it on for as the internet goes, and she just watches your videos, and she took everything that you said word for word for as getting a job, and how to how they how they did you wrong in that
Mm-hmm.
particular job.
Mm-hmm.
And she took everything that you said and went on some kind of platform and
Oh wow.
repeated everything that you said.
Yeah.
When I find that video, I'm gonna send it to you, and
Oh,
you
okay.
just look at the timestamps. When she said this, and she took this from her own point of view. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, nah. He just said this last week. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, all right, well, that's what you got to deal with put it on when you put it on the internet. So
Yeah.
I get it when you say you had too many people on the big group and people follow you and whatnot.
Oh
But yeah,
yeah.
9 to 5s are definitely yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. I appreciate it. So again, like that's what I'm saying. You guys, if I provide the information, but because I still know you, you still have to make effort in. Okay, if I tell you guys about a company to invest in this week, right? You still have to make effort and go and find a time to invest in it. So if you don't do that, if you don't make that effort, then you miss out on it. That is it, right? So that's why I'm not trying to be a gatekeeper for what. And something I've limited my attention on LinkedIn because I see that going on a lot. Everyone is just trying to come across as expert, and everyone is trying to come across as I know it all, you know. And for me, I'm not trying to be a gatekeeper of nothing. If I learn something and I know something and you can make money from me, I can make money from me, I would tell you about it free of charge. I'll tell you about it. But I only have this program because in this program, I'm not even only charging because the platform that I'm using, I also pay for it. So I have to maintain my fee by charging something for it. But really, also, if you telling me when I started teaching, I started by doing Zoom calls. And I did 4 Zoom calls. On those 4 Zoom calls, I did everything for free. I had maybe about 30 to 40 students. And I did it 4 times for about 6, 7 weeks. And I noticed that it's like the success rate was low because when you give something to people for free, they don't appreciate it, right? And they just prolong things, they do this and that. So when I started my platform, I just said, you know what, I'm going to make it this price, which is going to be affordable for everyone. But you buying my program is just you are showing me that you also willing to invest in yourself. So if you are willing to invest in yourself, I will also invest in you by teaching you as much as I know and sharing information with you. But what I don't like is even when I've given someone for free, I even had someone that I've given someone that's like a family member, family friend, or that I've given for free, they still don't take it serious. So that's why I really don't believe in giving stuff for free. You have to meet me halfway. If you meet me halfway, trust me, I would also do my best to meet you halfway. And for me, it's not about the money for me. Whatever money I'm making for AOS knows I'm very thankful for it and I'm content with it. It is good enough money. So I'm not here to charge you guys as much as I can charge you, but you have to also show me that it's also something you are serious about. Then we can go from there. So yes, but yes, Adewale, I'm not trying to be a gatekeeper for nothing. Mr. Henry, yes, we can meet after. We can meet after. Yeah, I'm not trying to be a gatekeeper. You guys can almost be certain if I learn anything tomorrow, if I'm into something else and that stuff is making money, I'm going to come back here and tell you guys about it. Okay. So cool. We are at time now. Oh, does anyone have it? I think someone's saying something.
Yeah, I have a question real quick.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
Hello, this is my first time. So, anyways, I wanted to ask, which apps do you use to buy the options, and how do you like get into it? Because while you're talking, I already opened like uh a terminal on YouTube to read about the options trading and stuff. But like, which apps do you use to, or is it like a web terminal, or is it like a smartphone terminal? Like, how do you go about investing and stuff?
I use Robinhood. Robinhood is the one I'm using right now. So Robinhood is a good app.
Okay.
That's the only one I've used for my options trading, Robinhood.
So
Go ahead.
do you like research the companies beforehand, or do you like read maybe like if there is a financial news, something coming up, or then you capitalize on that? Like, how do you how do you go about it?
Okay, yes. So there are 3. There's one main strategy. So I'll rank it the top 1 down to the 3 that are the strategies that I use for trading options. The number 1 is companies reporting earnings for the week. That is my number 1 strategy. Companies reporting earnings for the week. Because when companies report their earnings, it really all options is like you are looking for moments in the stock price where there's going to be volatility, whether up or down. So there is no better time than when a company is reporting their earnings. So when a company is reporting their earnings, there will be temporary volatility in their stock price, whether it will be to the upside or downside. So if a company does well with their earnings, their stock price would go up. And if the company reports bad earnings, their stock price will go down. And that's what you want to capitalize on. And with the options, you are not in need for long. So it's a lot. It's not really a lot, but it's kind of like some layers to cover. So maybe another time I can schedule like a time with you guys. I can show you, but I can also do it now.
Question is, yeah, sorry to interrupt. Do
Sure.
you do covered calls, or I was trying to get a crash course on this thing, and the information is quite overwhelming. And I was like, listen, I just need a trust strategy. Let me start with that one.
Yeah,
That
so
way,
you guys can see I use ChatGPT. I really didn't watch anyone's course because it's very simple. Stocks price will go up or down. So you want to find when a company can go up or down. So let me just answer Nicholas' questions for one. So he asked me my top strategy. The first one is I trade on a weekly basis. The ones that I've made the money on that I was showing you guys is based on companies earning. I find the companies that are reporting their earnings for the week, and I guess whether I do my research and I'll guess whether they are going to beat their earnings or miss their earnings. And if my guess is right, I can make money. And that's my number one. My number two strategy is um is looking at the market dips. So I have a watch list. I have a watch list that I use on a weekly basis. Well, I have a watch list, not even on a weekly basis. I have a bunch of watch lists here, right? So I have one. This was the initial one I started with, and this is the IT services one. And how I got this watch list is Vanguard has Vanguard has a portfolio for tech. So whatever, like they have an index fund for tech. So in their index fund, whatever stocks they bought in there, that is the one I picked these stocks out of. So I didn't just go and pick random stocks. So I picked it from whatever, because if they are investing in it, it means they've done their research. So you don't really need to reinvent the wheel. Just find one fund. It could be S&P 500 fund. Pick the companies they have in there and start a watch list on that. So my watch list is based on Vanguard's fund. So I have a watch list here. This was the first watch list I started with the companies that I'm interested in. And this is the one that I said, okay, I picked this ones from Vanguard's fund. And I have one for semiconductor, also came from Vanguard's fund. And I have technology here. All this came from Vanguard's fund. So my first strategy is betting on companies. And my second one is every day I have my watch list open like this, and I'm jumping back and forth between them. So I'm looking for companies that dipped for the day, right? You can see Tesla went down 8% the other day, right? SMCI went down 28%. If I see that a good company went down, I don't like guessing that a price will go down because I don't know when price goes down. I don't know when price goes down, but I can guess that if a price goes down of a good company like Tesla, I can almost be certain it will go back up. So what I would do is now that Tesla is down, I'll monitor it again. If I can time the bottom right, I will buy a call that the price will go up. So right now, let's say Tesla is $210. I can buy a contract that is three weeks away, 4 weeks away, that Tesla is gonna go to 211. I'm not gonna bet 220. I just bet 211. That is if I still feel like it's still going. I try to time the bottom. Let's say this is the bottom, and I'll say Tesla is gonna go to 211, and I'll set my contract for like at least 3 weeks to a month out. Then I'll just leave it. And that's how I make money. So that's my second strategy. The third strategy, I don't really use that as much, is the news. But I always feel like news always come out after market. So by the time you hear about the news, when market open, the stock price has already gone up. Look at Palantir, Robinhood. Uh, uh,
I have a question, AZ.
Baby,
Now I had
just a
go ahead.
second.
I don't want to
I'm
stop you.
talking to my wife.
Go ahead. Mhm.
Yeah, sorry. So, but I may have to go pretty soon because my wife has to eat and she has the baby, so I need to watch him. Um, so um, yeah, so this third strategy is on a company's news, but on a company's news, right? On a company's news, is very hard to catch because most times the news will come out after market. And by the time you hear it, the price would have gone up. So look at Palantir. I told you guys about Palantir like a couple of weeks ago, right? I said this is the one. I was even telling you guys last week that this is the company I'm betting on, right? Look at them. Yesterday they were like this, and after market close, because market closed at 4 p.m. and after market, the news came out that Palantir is going to be added to the S&P 500, which is the index for the biggest 500 companies in US, right? And just that news alone brought the stock price up in the aftermarket. It went up 7%. And when the market opened on Monday, it might still go up a little bit more. So this one, I will probably even trade options on this on Monday morning if I can get in at this, because right now it's at $32. Hopefully it stays there and I can still get in at this $32. I think for the day, it might go up a little bit, but I don't keep my contract past a day. So I don't keep my contract past a day. Thank you.
Oh, so you redeem the contract at the end of the day.
Oh, so if I invest in a contract today,
Yeah.
I'll sell it tomorrow morning. So as soon as the contract is in the money, by the next day, I'm looking to sell it. And if I'm not making money by the next day, I look at the opportunity for the day, but really I try to get rid of my contract within a day or two. I don't keep it past that. The ones that
because you said something like you want to place it, you buy a contract for like 3 weeks ahead. So like that was why I was confused.
Oh yeah, so yeah, the 3 weeks ahead is just giving you, let's say you lose money and you need more time. You need more time to, the 3 weeks is just, you are just buying time because let's say I bought the Tesla at 210 right now. I don't know if it's gonna keep going down. So let's say Tesla had another bad day on Monday where it went down. Because my contract is 3 weeks, I know I still have like time for Tesla to go back up and me making money. But let's say I bought Tesla on Friday and on Monday, Tesla, I went to 115, 120. I'll sell that contract and get my cash out. I'm not keeping it. So the 3 weeks is just to give you time, but you don't keep your contract for that long.
Okay. If you're in the money before the 3 weeks, you sell it, right?
Oh,
that's what you mean.
Yes. If I'm in the money at any time between the 3 weeks, I sell it. Yeah.
Okay.
But then you can also you can also see that you are losing money in those time, then sell it and find another one to get into. And that was the story this week. I invested in SMCI. Another lesson I learned this week. I invested money in SMCI. I'd already invested in them since last week. My contract is 1 month out. When I first bought them, the next day I was making 7,000. But I had this mindset. I was like, I think I'm gonna make a lot more. I think I can make and it's really sucks to be doing that. You guys don't ever do that. Don't plan some money. Look at what is in front of you and make your decision based on that. So I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna make 30,000 on this one. So I didn't sell it. By the time market opened the next day, I already lost all them 7,000. But I still had my capital, which was good. Then on Monday, again, on Tuesday when market opened, I said, okay, I want to get out of this SMCI because I'm too close to my capital. I've had this contract for a week now. On Tuesday, this thing went up again. I was making $4,000. I said, okay, I want to make my 7,000 that I saw before. I didn't sell. So I left it. By the next day, I've already lost the 4,000 again. So from the next day till yesterday when I sold it, I started losing my capital. So I lost 1,000. I said, okay, I can afford to lose 1,000 for the potential that it will go back up tomorrow. On the next day, it went back down again. It went down some more. I lost another 1,000. I said, okay, I can afford to lose 2,000. For the potential that it will go back up tomorrow, I'll make my money back. By yesterday, Friday, look at what this thing did. It lost $28. So I end up losing $4,000 on it. So I sold it yesterday. So that's one thing you don't want to do in options, right? It's really not advice to don't keep the contract for too long. I've had, and this is my fault because I've had potential to make $11,000 from this, right? I didn't. So let's say I sold it at the top. The first time I made 7,000, and because it went back down. You could have bought it again at the low, and it went back up. You made money again. So I could have rode that wave multiple times and make money from it.
Yeah.
But because I had this fixed mindset, and that was my lesson for this week is don't stay in something for too long, especially if you see it's not working. Cut your loss real quick, then move on to the next one. So what I did is I sold it yesterday at a loss, and I ended up taking whatever amount I had left in there, and I was just buying Palantir. I bought a bunch of Palantir contract yesterday, and Palantir ended up having that news after hours. Lord is my witness. I didn't know about the news, but I've been hearing things lately that Palantir is going to be really big. They're going to be the next company to do really well. So I was telling you guys last week, if you guys go and watch that video, that this is the company I'm betting on, that if I get any money, that those are the company this is the company I'm going to invest in. So I think all week I had it in my mind. So I said, okay, let me sell this. I sold it at the loss. And I took all the money I had. I just was buying as many Palantir contracts as I can buy. And off that Palantir contract that I bought, I ended up making about 3,000 from it yesterday. And when I checked the price after the news went up, I'm already making 10,000 on it already. Like when market opens on Monday, if the price stays the same like this, if the price stays the same, and even if it goes up, I'm going to be making money on it. But what I'll tell you guys is this Palantir contract, if you guys can get in now, you can have two strategies. So the contract that I'm saying for this Palantir that I have is my contract expires 2026. So it's something, because I believe Palantir can be a $100, $200 stock. So I'm not going to sell it when it is even $40. I'm betting that it goes to 40. I bought it when it was 22. It's already at 30 now. So even when it gets to 40, I'm not going to sell it, because I really think in the next year, it can easily be $100 stock. Who knows? So I'm keeping that contract for a very long time. That's the only contract I have in my portfolio that I'm keeping for a very long time. And I will even add more contracts to it as I go. So does that make sense? That's my strategy. So my strategy is based on companies reporting earnings. That one I day trade. And the other strategy is buying the dips whenever a company goes down. Like this Tesla one looks really good. I'll see how it does on Monday. And if it goes down, if Tesla goes down more on Monday, is definitely a buy, because it will go back up. Tesla has been doing that. Tesla has so much volatility, and that's what you want. If you look at their stock price, let's look at 1 month, so you can see all this. Tesla was 1 month ago, Tesla was 198. It's gone to 207 here, come down to 201. And you really, to make money in options, the $6 gain, $6 gain is good. You don't need $10 gain. If you get $10 gain, you can see down here, up here, down here, up here, down here, up here. So it was up here, now it's back down here again. So that's pretty much my strategy. So how you guys will find the companies reporting earnings for the week is you can use this NASDAQ site, right? They have an earnings calendar by the day. You can see Monday, September 9th. These are the companies reporting earnings on Monday. There's a whole bunch of them. But one thing I've found is the most important ones, right? The most important ones, they will put them, because you see these ones, these are small company. Look at their market cap is small. So when you come here, you can filter it based on the ones with the biggest market cap, because then you know that's the ones you really want to bet on. This Oracle one, I already bought the contract on Friday. But I'm still skipping it till Monday. I haven't done enough research to see whether they will beat earnings, but I still bought a contract that they will beat their earnings, even though they have missed a bunch of their earnings in the past. But lately I've been hearing some really good things about their cloud space that is picking up momentum. So just based on that, That's why I initially bought it, because on Friday their stock was down. On Friday, ORCL. On Friday, their stock was down, so I bought it somewhere around here. I bought it like in the 139. And by the time the market closed, I was making small amount on it, maybe $100 on it already. But I'm betting that they will beat their earnings. So this is where I get the companies that are reporting earnings from. So if you go on the NASDAQ website, just type, I think what I type is, if you type, let me see if I can. So this is what I type, companies reporting earnings this week, right? It'll give you a bunch of different ones, but NASDAQ is the first one, earnings calendar on NASDAQ. I can even send this link to you guys. Let me put it in the chat. Sorry, I was reading at this chat. Yes, so yes, I thank you, Ade. I appreciate it. I know you guys also. So I what I'll do is I can still talk on it on Saturday, but maybe I will allocate some time at the end to talk about it. So that way we'll cover all the AWS stuff first. So like we did today, we cover a bunch of AWS stuff. It's okay, baby. We cover AWS stuff. So we'll talk about it at the end. Sorry, if you guys, in case you guys are hearing, I have my son with me. He's sleeping. All right. So here, so once you come to the earnings calendar, the date, we have Monday, right? So these are the biggest company here. So I wouldn't do anything past the first page. So this first page is giving you enough companies. So one thing you want to keep in mind here is this icon, right? So you can see this means after hours and this is pre-hours. So how I was making money on option is I was making money twice a day. I would make money by betting on companies that will report their earnings in the morning. And if I guess right, I already start making money when market open. Then I also bet on the ones that will report their earnings when market close. When market close, you will know whether you're making money by seeing if they go up or not. Then you already know the next morning you're going to make money. So that's how I'm making two trades, not two trades, but I can have multiple trades, but I'm always betting on if I see a company in the morning and it's a company in the afternoon. So on this week, I haven't done my research yet, but the one that I stood out to me that I bought is Oracle. So really the goal for you guys this week, if you want to trade this Oracle option, is you just have to guess whether you think they're going to beat earnings or not. So if you guess either way, you can make money either way. That is where the potential is. So the guessing part is where is a little bit difficult, but you can rely on research, past data. How is Oracle's business doing now? And just use that to guess. And if you want to minimize your risk, let's say you just did all the research and you don't know, don't bet all your money on it. Bet a small amount on it. And if you lose that money, you know, okay. But then if you make it, you still make something. So this is pretty much what I use, guys. So we have Monday here. And if you keep following the calendar, there's Tuesday. So when you go through this calendar and you find I'll say stick between the ones with the big market cap, right? Then what you want to do is, so how I make my trade is, because I want to trade Oracle on Monday, if Oracle, you guys still have time to buy it on Monday because they don't report till after market close. So during market hours, you still have time to buy it, right? But let's say there was a company that was reporting in the morning before market open. The best time to make that trade is the day before. So you guys get it? If a company is reporting their earnings in the morning before market open, I buy their contract a day before. But if a company is reporting after hours, I can either buy the day before or wait to the day and buy during market hours before 4. So that's how I've done it. So that's why I was saying that I don't keep the contract past a day. So if I bought Oracle on Friday now, they are reporting their earnings at 4. After 4 p.m. on Monday, I would know whether I would know the results, and the next day I'll get rid of it. Whether they make earnings or they, obviously, if they make earnings, you make money. But if they don't make earnings, you lose your money. Either way, I'm getting rid of it the next day. I never keep it past the next day. Unless if I can't get rid of it, because sometimes your contract price will go to zero and you won't be able to sell it until it expires. Then I'll just leave it in my account. Does that make sense? So this is
Makes
what I
sense.
use. This is what I use. So that's where the work will come in. You just have to come in here and pick the top ones. Like I said, just the ones with the biggest market caps are usually good. The ones with the biggest market cap are usually good. And I try to stay any stock price that is like under $30, I usually stay away from them. Because even if they beat earnings, they don't go up as much. So I try to pick just a good company that their stock price is very good. And I'll do a research on them. I don't trade all. I might pick one or two out of this that I'll trade on Monday. Then I'll do the same thing for every day. On some days, you might find more companies there that you can trade, which is fine, do that. Guess the one I made money from this week. That I kind of messed up because I didn't send you guys the stuff. The one that I made money on this week, GitLab. Everybody knows, like we are in the tech space. We know GitLab is, we all use GitLab, right? If we use GitHub, right? But whoever is not using GitHub is using GitLab. So in that space, they really don't have competition, and they are making as much money as they can make. I bet on that without even thinking. And on the earnings was Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? I bet on it. The next day I made like almost $5,000. And yesterday another one I made money on was Broadcom. But that one I guessed right for the first time that it was going to go down. And it went down. And I only guessed that because I guessed that Nvidia was going to do well, which it did, and it still went down. So I said Nvidia and Broadcom are in the same sector. I said, okay, the same thing is going to happen today. So rather than guessing that they will go up, I guess that they will go down. And that one I also made $5,000. But I lost most of it because I didn't sell the SMCI when I was supposed to sell it. So yesterday I still walked away with like $3,000 profit for the week, which was still good. So this is the strategy I'm using. I'm telling you guys now, I'm not doing anything. Again, I just told you guys, I'm not going to be a gatekeeper for nothing. So you find the companies that are reporting earnings here for the week. And so on Saturdays, what I do, I'll go through the list for Monday and I'll keep going. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Find the company. I'll do a research on each one by one. Whichever one I feel I'm going to trade, I'll write it down. And I'll just keep doing it until I have at least 2 to 3 trades for each day, Monday to Friday. And sometimes I may find good companies. Like there was a week where a lot of good companies was reporting earnings. If that's the case, I would add more companies to it. But on this list for this Monday, for example, the only one I recognize in it is Oracle. The other companies, I don't know much about them. So I have to do my research to see if I'm trying to get into a trade with them on Monday. So that's my strategy.
If I may ask, the GitLab investment, how much was initial capital used to buy the dividend? The option.
Contract. Yeah,
the contract.
I invested maybe about 1,005, and I made like around. Let me see if I have my screenshot here. I'll send to you guys. I'll post it here. Just a second. Because I always take screenshots of it every time right before I make the trade. Where is it? Okay, I found it here. But this wasn't when I sold it, but because I don't think I took a screen because it moves so fast. Like I really don't want to lose my profit. So when I'm selling it, I just go in and sell it real quick. But at some point, if it goes up, I always take a screenshot of it. Let me send it. I'll email it to myself and I'll show you guys. This was when I took one of the screenshots, and that was how much I was making at that time.
AZ, on the Robinhood on the app, don't you
Mhm.
have to enable option share, and
Yes, you have to.
how
Yes,
much you have to have in it before you can start option sharing?
you don't have to have
Because
anything in it. You can enable it at any time. But once you open the account, you can enable it.
yeah,
You don't
yeah,
have to
mine
have
ain't.
a. But
Yeah,
when
my
you guys do the options thing, right? When you guys what am I going to say? When you are filling out the contracts, when you are filling out the contracts to the application to say you want to enable the options in your account, put that you are making a lot of money. So it's put like you are making 200,000 a year, something like that. Because if you put a low amount, for some reason they will deny your application. Because sharing it with my coworker, and he
right,
said they
right.
didn't approve his application because he probably put a small amount. So put a large amount.
Yeah, I did that, and I put from 5,000 to like 25,000, and it didn't even let me go. It didn't let me do any of it. It
Yeah,
didn't
you
let me
gotta
have
you got
the option trade.
yeah, you gotta put a large amount. So you guys make sure you do that. Okay, so this is it. So this is GitLab. So let me see. Let me see how much I invested. So I bought, so it's my average price is 325 here. So you guys can see my average price here. That's how much I paid for one contract. So it's 325 times 100 because there's 100 shares in one contract. So $325 times 10. So I did invest more. I invest 3,200, right? 250. And I made, so this was when I took the screenshot. By the time I sold it, I made more than this. I think I made close to 5,000 on it, right? And you can see the price, I bought it at this price. By the time market opened, it was already at 630. Well, I think by the time I sold it, I made about 5,000 on it. So I did invest more in this one. But let me show you, let me send the other one that I did yesterday. I don't think I invested 2,000 in that one. I think I invested just maybe sorry, I'm coming. Let me send that one to myself. So this is the other one that I made money on this week, yesterday. So this is before I sold it, right? And when I sold it, I think it was close to 5,000. It was like 4,900 and something. You can see it's 256%, 53, right? So this one I invested 148 times 100 times 13. So this one I invested 1,900 in it. It's close to 2,000. And I made 5,000 on it. But even if you invested a lower amount, like you can still make good money on it. Let's say it was half of that you invested, let's say 1,000. Of that 1,000, you could have still made 2,000 because you can see it's really, I'm sorry, I'm so far away from the mic. It's really the percentage that matters, right? If you are saying anywhere like 50%, 90%, 100%, 200%, so that means you've already doubled your money. So at that point, what are you waiting for? There is really, unless if you're trying to be greedy like me when I lost my money, right? You can sell it at that point. It's really the percent. So let's say you invest $500 and percentage wise, you made 200%. That means you double your money. So it's really the percentage, really. So because the contract I chose to buy a lot, right? I could have bought one contract. I could have bought two contracts. I could have bought three contracts. Because you saw here, one contract of this would have only cost me just $148. So that's how it works. You really don't have to invest a lot of money, really, but you can slowly build your portfolio up. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I do. You guys can come here, pick the companies for the week and plan it out, do a research on them. And Then once you do a research on them, so let me even teach you another thing that I used to do a research on them, right? So I'll show you guys here. So Oracle is here, right? That's the one that I know that if I see a company that I know, then I'll be willing to trade them. So on Google, you guys can come here and just type Oracle, type the stock symbol, Oracle stock earnings. So whatever the name of the stock symbol is, you type it in Google. So let me show you the difference. Here, if you, let's say you type Oracle stock here. Google is just going to give you this, right? Maybe if you click on this, it will go to it. Yeah, Google is just going to give you this. Just the chart about Oracle. But if you type in Google the stock earnings, you add earnings at the end, it will give you their finance. It will give you what their current price is. It will give you their finance for the past 4 quarters, right? And it will give you their past earning results. So this is the information I use to decide whether I think they're going to beat their earnings or miss their earnings, right? So you can see for the past 4 quarters, Oracle has actually missed earnings. They haven't beat anything for the past 4 quarters, right? But this year their revenue is going up and they're missing some money. I really don't know the details about all this, but generally speaking, let's say you come and research, let's use Palantir, for example. Almost automatically, if I come in and look for a company, let's say I'm betting Palantir and I do Palantir stock earnings, right? If I do Palantir stock earnings, almost automatically, I'm not saying sometimes the PDD one that I did had the same thing, but they lost money, right? So it's not always guaranteed, but majority of the time it could be a good data to rely on. So if you bet on it, if you come and check their earnings, right, and you see that everything is green and they beat all their earnings in the past and their finance is all green, this is a good company that I would think they will do it again. It's not always guaranteed. Let me show you PDD zone, because that was what I used to bet on PDD, and I lost money. So it's not always guaranteed. So you can see theirs, although they did add something drop here. You can see it was green when this time they missed. So it's not always guaranteed, but at least it's a one piece of information that is leading me towards the right direction. Then from there, I can watch news about them, what people are saying about them. I'll ask ChatGPT. Then I'll use that to decide whether I want to buy calls or puts on them. But I'll tell you guys my strategy. Almost certainly, if I look and it's all green, I bet that it will do well. And this Oracle, for some reason, because they've been missing earnings, I still think they're going to do well because I think their cloud business is picking up. So I haven't done my full research, but if I do my full research, I may sell on Monday and just buy puts. But for now, I have a call on them that they will beat earnings. So that's pretty much it. Does anyone have any question?
It sounds pretty straightforward. It's just explain it in details about the earnings report and all, because sometimes it can get confusing. Yeah. But so the green part means all their earning reports have been positive, like they've been paying dividends on time and all, right?
Yes. So this means that their revenue is they went up 27%. They're making more money. Their net income, their earnings per share, they have cash. They are not in debt. So a company like this, they are making money and they don't have any debt. And you can see their percentage out, their percentage is growing. So and down here is when their earnings call. So these are like two of the datas they used to predict. They used to decide whether a company will beat the earnings. So it's the EPS, earnings per share, and revenue. I really don't know the details of all this mean, but So if you click on this drop down here, so what it is like, so what it is like, companies would, people on the stock Wall Street, right? They would have their expectations. So that's why you see here expected. So for this EPS and revenue, they will have expected. So they expect their EPS to be 0.08. And whoever company that is reporting their earnings, their EPS just has to be bigger than what Wall Street is expecting. If it is lower, then they missed it. If it is bigger, then they made it. So you can see here, their EPS, what they expect was 0.08, theirs was 0.09, which is bigger. So they beat that one. For their revenue, they are expecting Wall Street is expecting a revenue of 652 million. They made 678 million, so they beat it. And that is how, at that time, if you look at it, this other thing that I use, let me go here and show you guys. Yeah. So this is usually when this E part you are seeing here is when companies report earnings. So this was the last earning they reported, right? And you can see when they reported their earning, you can see their stock price went up there. It was at 27. Right now, Palantir is a company that don't really go up. You won't see it go up like $2. You won't see it go up by $5, $6, $7. They go up by like $2. So it was here, it was at 27, and when they report their earning, it went up as 30, which is good. So just that $3 move, you can make good money on it, which is good. So it's okay, baby. Yeah. So really my strategy for options is very risky. I have some of there were actually people that were in my program before that we became friends. And we have a WhatsApp group that the guy added me to, that we talked about it, and he's lost some money betting on earnings, but he doesn't make the same exact trade as I do. Sometimes he does, sometimes he picks his own trade. Earnings is risky because if you miss it, by the next morning, your money is going to be gone. You're not going to have anything else to get out of it. But it is also where you see the most money, because if you guess right, that is where the gains you guys are seeing, that's where that comes in. What I was showing you in my thing. That's where you guys see this gain. I'm telling you, let's say I bought this at like 3:50 p.m. By the next morning, like 10:30 a.m., I had already had like $5,000 there. So really, what am I trying to say? Is a place where you can lose money, but it's also a place where you can make a lot of money. That it's just a matter of you guessing right whether you think something is going to go up or down based on when they report their earning. And if you can, you guys may be a better researcher than me, and you may be able to reason better than me. And if you can make that prediction very well, you can make a lot of money. So if you are someone that can take risks like that, then this is a place you can go. It's almost like you guys ever heard the phrase money growing on trees? I think this is the closest thing to it. It's really mind blowing. Yeah. So yeah. So that's pretty much my strategy right there. So remember, my main strategy is earnings, and the other strategy is the dips. If I see a company dip for the day, a good company, not just any company like Tesla, I'll be monitoring it. If you can time the bottom very well, let's say you bought Tesla for 111, 211, and Tesla ends up going to like 220 again, that one or two contract can make you like easily $3,000-$4,000. And that's how you make money.
Aziz, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir. Okay.
What do you think about some groups that are using machine learning to predict this outcome? This
Yeah, Just don't let anyone sell you the machine, right? Don't they? Someone actually called me the other day. I don't know how they got my information. It's like, oh yeah, we have a software for predicting stuff. I'm not gonna sign up for stuff like that. Some people might be able to, maybe they do. I don't know, but my logic is always like, if you have a machine that is printing money for you, why would you want to tell me about it and mess it up for yourself? So,
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
so they make their money from selling you the software, not actually the software making them money. So I'll stay away from it. Yeah.
uh AZ, do you recommend certain boot camps for understanding options traders, or is that easy, like cut line and sinker for it's easy to pick on up?
It's
Because
really it is, go ahead, sorry.
because I was looking at a one guy. He's on the YouTube, and he said he does pretty well in those kind of spaces. And I'm new to it, and
Okay.
they don't even want to let me get on the options trader, so I can even put my hand in the pot towards the app
Yeah,
go. But
so the first thing is just figuring out how to enable it in your account for them
okay,
to, you can even, if Robinhood is not letting you, you can open a Webull account. There's other brokerage that you can open and enable it there and use them. Webull is another one. There's the guy that influenced me to start doing options. I saw him the other day. He was using Webull, so I'll use
okay,
Webull. So
okay,
in
all
terms
right,
of people's boot camp, I mean, just be careful. I mean, it could be good, it could be bad. I don't know. But I've told you guys, and you guys saw it when I learned options. I literally used ChatGPT to learn it in 1 hour. It's pretty straightforward. It's nothing complicated about it. Like, you are guessing whether a company's price is gonna go up or down. That's it. And this is how ChatGPT explained it to me. This was what I typed in ChatGPT. I still have it here. So it's pretty straightforward that you're guessing whether a company will go up or down. So I took a screenshot from Robinhood, I gave it to ChatGPT, and I told it, and I learned it in 1 hour. And after that, I made my first options trade. And as time went on, as I don't understand the spread and all that stuff in it. I only just understand call and puts. Call is if you are guessing that the price is going to go up. Puts is if you are guessing that the price is going to go down. So in
and
less
the strike level and the strike.
exactly, the strike price is the price you are guessing that the stock price is going to go to. So you can see for this particular contract, the dates you guys are seeing up here, these are the different dates you can pick for when your contract will expire. So this one, in the beginning, you can see I was picking the longest date I can pick because I was like, okay, that'll give me time to recover. But that date, right? The longer your date is, the more expensive the contract will be. So, but you can still make money from it because I told you guys my Palantir contract, that was the first one I bought. The first trade I made for an option, I bought Palantir contract and it's for 2 years. That was why my date was December 2026. And it's working well. That contract is working really well. So these dates up here are the dates you are picking. They go from 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, and so on. The price you are seeing here, these are the price you are guessing that Amazon, this in this case is Nvidia, that I'm guessing that Nvidia is going to go to. And based on whatever price you pick, this is what the contract is worth. So this $35 you see here is is really is really for 1 shares. And in one contract, there is 100 shares. So it will be whatever that price is. What is it? 35.85. It will be 35.85. No, 35.85 times 100. So that is how much you will really pay for one contract. Because I picked that date. So the longer date you pick, the price is more expensive. But obviously, not all contracts are like $35. Sometimes you find contracts for like 30 cents. It just depends on what you are trading, what the current price is, how far out you are picking it. There's other factors there. So that's what you'll see. Yeah. So this is how I learned it. But I'm just saying that you guys have to do the work. It's really not hard. Just take some time out, plan your trade for the week, even if it's just one or two companies you want to trade every day. Then the next thing you do is you guess whether you think they're going to do well or they're going to do bad. then if you can guess right, based on using some information and doing some research, you can really make a lot of money. And if you are not so sure, and that you are sure about this, because sometimes some companies you just know about their business because we use them every day. For example, like a company that I made a lot of money onto was Zoom. I could have probably made more from Zoom, but I sold my contract too soon. I would have probably made like 10,000 on Zoom, but I ended up making like 5,000. Well, everybody knows Zoom. We are having meeting on Zoom now. Almost if everyone wants to have meeting, the first thing they'll do is go use Zoom, right? So you already know they have good business. And when you do research on them and you see, so that nothing is guaranteed, but you almost have a peace of mind that, okay, I think this company would do good. And if you've done all the research, you're still not sure, either don't make the trade or bet a small amount you can afford to lose. So that's just it. But I can guarantee, even if you stick with the small amount, betting small amount, in the long run, you will make more than you will lose. I've lost a lot of trades. But the biggest one that has hurt my portfolio is when I try to put too much amount in it. But on the little ones I've lost, it doesn't really hurt my portfolio because let's say I make two $800 trade now, and one $800 brings me like 3,000-4,000, and I lost the other $800. I'm still up. That's why I really feel like the strategy for betting the little amount works. So don't overbet. For me, I did those overbetting this last week, which I just really ended it yesterday. All the bets that I've put $10,000 in, I haven't made money from. I've lost money from. So now I'm going back to the basics. What got me here is just betting between 500 and 2,000 on any stock. But if it's like sometimes if it's like a company that I want, like that one that I bet 3,000, it was a little bit over what I should bet, but I still did it then. But you guys have a goal of what you want to bet. So let's say, just say, you know what? If I'm not sure about a company, I'm gonna bet $200. But if I'm sure, I'll bet more. Have your own budget for what you can bet based on how sure you are that the company would do what you are saying it would do. So, but the ultimate thing I'm just trying to show you guys here is that for those looking to make money, options is also another way to do that. But you can also lose your money in it. But my own thing I'm just trying to enlighten you is people do make money from it. So,
But could
that's
you short a stock that you've not bought already? Like for example, you made your calculations, your like you read the news and you made your prediction that the stock will go down. Could you place a short position
yeah.
without not just buying? You can short it, right?
I don't know about it. I don't know about. So yeah, you can short it. Shorting it means that you are saying, are you saying that you are guessing that the stock price is going to go down?
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So
You
this
can short
one,
it without actually buying it in the first place, right? You can go in as an initial position as shorts, right?
yeah. So this one that you are seeing on my screen, I guessed that it was going to go down. I didn't guess that it was going to go up.
Okay, yes, that's what I wanted to confirm. I
Yeah,
thought you can
so
only short the stock you already have. Okay.
no. You anyone, because you don't have to have shares of it. You can just buy options of it. And in the options, you can guess, you can either buy calls, they call it calls and puts. So you can
Okay.
buy calls. Call is for like if you are guessing that it's going to go up, and puts is if you are guessing that it's going to go down. On this particular one you are seeing on the screen, I guessed that it was going to go down.
Is that the covered call strategy?
No, that the call strategy is that you are guessing that it will go up.
Okay, because I'm looking at this terminology. They call it
So you can
covered.
see
She said covered call strategy where you trade only on Monday, and then you trade the same stock every week. I don't know if that's the same thing.
yeah.
I'm still learning too.
So you
So
guys, when you guys get when if someone is not explaining it to you in a basic way, don't let them complicate it for you, right?
Mhm,
It is really you are for me the basic for me is I'm guessing whether a company stock price will go up or down,
mhm. Okay.
right? That's it. Don't let them try to put other stuff in there and all these things. Like you can guess any company at any time whether their price will go up for the day or go down for the day. So you can see on this one, you see here, it says puts. Can you guys see here? It says puts.
So
Puts,
I
right?
have so I have Acorn. So I have not been really paying attention to my stock on there, but I don't know I'm not in options. So can I do the same thing with that as well with that type of account? I think it's just
No,
similar.
I don't think Acorn allows you to do options trading and that stuff.
Okay, okay,
But
yes,
I'll
I
say,
never really did it.
but I'll say you guys just take your time to be sure about it before you jump in it because I don't want you guys to
Hmm.
lose your money.
Right,
But
right.
I'm not even telling you guys to go and trade options, but I'm just enlightening you guys that I did it and I made money from it. So I'm saying it's also another avenue where I realize that people make money from. So that's the only thing I'm doing here. So you guys, if you have limited funds, um, I'll still say buying shares is always the best route, but have a budget. Like my wife, she hates losing money. So she's just started her portfolio with $1,000. Now I think she's grown it to 3,000. She lost some money, but she's made more than she's lost, right? And she's slowly growing it that way. The other day I made a trade. I was like, I made this trade, but I'm not really sure. She was like, okay, I'm not getting in it. And I ended up losing my money on that one, but she didn't lose money. So you guys just be very careful. But it is a place where people do make money. So that's all I want you guys to know about it. Uh, okay, so you mean how do you register for the stock? Like open a brokerage account? Okay, you just have to open a brokerage account. So you can open any brokerage account based on where you live. There's in US, there's Robinhood, Fidelity, Merrill Edge, Vanguard. There's a bunch of them. Webull, Mumu. There's a bunch of them. So you just figure out which one. But it's all based on where you live. Then that's where you can figure out which brokerage app you download. Then once you open your brokerage out, enable options trading in it if you want to do options.
Have you ever did like margin money? So
No,
OPM money?
isn't that one the one you borrow money? I'm not doing that though.
Yeah, that's why I was
No, no, no,
wondering about
no.
that as well.
No,
Yeah.
no, don't borrow. You guys don't borrow money. I'm
Yeah.
not no, don't borrow money from anyone
Because
to
I was like,
trade.
how does that even work? Like,
I don't know how it works either. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how it works either. So
Especially when you lose money. I was like, I'm just trying to learn every little thing about it. So before I started getting into it, because
yeah,
I'm probably like your wife too. I'm like, let's losing senseless, just losing money. I
yeah.
don't know what I'm doing.
So so yeah, I don't know. I don't yeah, I wouldn't don't do it. If you don't know much about that, don't do that. But
Mhm.
I'm telling you guys, one thing I'm betting on that I think will do well is this Palantir contract. They are still very cheap right now. You guys can see they are a $30 company, and they people think they are worth way more than that. People are even comparing them to Nvidia. So, which is why I bought my contract
What's the name of
for
the company? Wait, that's it right there. What do they
Pal
do?
Palantir. They are in a simple way, they are a company that use AI and
Mm,
AI, they are an AI company, but they are more in like data analytics. So
okay.
you can their technology, it seems like you can give it any type of data and the data can analyze the data and give you information that you can use to make sound judgment on things. So business use them. So even how I even started getting confused, getting sure about Palantir. I saw a commercial the other day randomly. The name of the company is Wait Time. And the guy, I think it's called Wait Time. The guy said something in it that just made me realize that, oh, this company is big. But he said it was like a brief 1 second. So this Wait Time is a guy went to, he said that the backstory is he went to a football game and he was trying to go get hot dog from the concession stand and he saw how long it was gonna take him to wait. So he came up with the idea of, okay, how is it gonna be cool if he can get the data of the crowd and he can use that information to predict how long it is going to wait for anyone to be waiting for their order or something like that. I really don't really understand what this company does and how they make money, right? But when the guy was talking about it, he said in a brief 1 second, he said that, oh, the company, the technology we use to predict the data, he didn't even say, he just says we use Palantir technology and Intel. So that was how I picked up on Palantir. So whatever technology they are using behind the scenes to make money, it is Palantir's technology that they are using. So Palantir, US government use them in war, in their battle, whatever things they are doing. A lot of companies use them. It's just like you can feed it a bunch of data and it's able to use AI to analyze those data and give you information that you can use to make sound judgment, like precise, accurate judgment on your business. So that's what they
You could
do.
do that with stocks too, right? We could probably build an application like that right now.
Yeah, but it's true.
Yeah.
You can probably find, if you can find a way to get a bunch of stock data and give it to Palantir's technology. But the thing is, their software they sell is very, very, very expensive. People like us can have, people like us can afford it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I
so
mean, a
you will
lot of
have to be
machine
you will
learning.
have to be making exactly. They are probably in that machine learning and all that stuff. So you can
Mhm.
see all the people that these people are able to help. And the technology they are really using behind the scenes is Palantir's technology. So this company, I really believe this company will do well. I don't know what their stock price will be, which is why I bought a contract for 2 years. So I'm saying if you guys want to start in options, just buy a contract of Palantir, buy for 2 years out, and get as many as you can afford to get and leave it there. I guarantee you, you're gonna make money on it. You're gonna make money on it. Especially when they haven't added them to the S&P 500 yet. There's just the news they are going to be added this month. On the day they add them, you can also bet that their stock price is gonna go up. And once they are in the S&P 500, is really the sky is the limit from there. If the company continues to perform the way they are performing, their stock price, you can see one time where their stock price can just jump the same way Nvidia jumped from 200 to 300, and it would just the rest was history from there. So we can see the same thing. But I believe in this company. I mean, so I've had them since they were like 20, 21, $22, and they're still going up. So it was a little bit over one. So yeah, so that's this one.
Yeah, I invested in Fanbase too. I see they starting to go up. Let me get on their Series C funding, but they're not public yet. Fanbase, social media.
Yeah.
So I wanna
Yeah. Yes, Nicholas, you can make good money on it. I mean, you can make good money on it. Trading options just on a moderately. You don't even have to be a day trader in it. Moderately, you can make money on it. You can make up to that amount in a year. Some people even make way more than that. So, but yeah, it's a good side money. And if you figure out what you're doing and you can even make more from it, then that will even be better. Yeah, so that's my strategy. I don't do anything else. It's just my number one is earnings. Number two is buying the dip. If there's a dip for the day, I might jump in it. And three is if there's a news. So, but I really don't know where to get the news from. So I just stick to earnings and buying dip. Anyway,
Or do you also sell the highs?
like
Do you buy the dip, but do you also sell the highs? Like, I mean, the opposite of buying the dip.
yeah. So if I buy the dip and it goes up, then I sell it. Is that
No,
what you're
I mean,
asking?
I mean, do you come in at the highs and then
Buying it and that is no, because I don't know when the stock is gonna go down.
okay,
Those
okay,
are much risky because if sorry company is going up now, I don't know when it's gonna go down.
okay. So you better buy the dips and then
It's
hope it goes
for
up and then
me exactly. For me, it's better to buy the dip because the stock they are always doing the same thing. A company like the big companies like Tesla, Amazon, they go up, they come down. They go back up, they come down. I know that for sure, right? So if a company is going up now, I don't know where it's going to get to because at some point it will get somewhere, it will have to come back down. So I just wait till it comes back down. Then I buy it at the bottom, then ride it back, ride that wave back up, right? So that's why it's good to have a watch list because you can just monitor your watch list for the day. You can see the companies that are going up, you can see the companies that are going down. So this watch list is how I know that which company is down for the day. Then if I see that, okay, that's most likely the bottom, then I can buy. You can see yesterday, Tesla went down $19. Sometimes, or on the down, sometimes yesterday, Tesla may have not started, let's see. Tesla may have not started the day. Tesla may have not started the day down, right? So you can see Tesla started the day here. So you can see 9:30. Tesla started at 210. So if you predicted at this time that, oh, I think this thing is going to be going down, if you're here at 210, you can still make money writing it down like that. But I really don't guess that something is going to go down, but I know if something goes down like Tesla like this, eventually it's going to go back up. It went down 8% for the day. It's going to go back. It's okay, baby. It's okay. Eventually it's going to go back up. Then you can make money on it. So that's what I guess. The only time I guess if a company is going to go down is like when they report their stock earnings. If they miss, their stock price most likely 90% of the time always come down. That's the only time I guess. And I've only done that one time, which is the one I did yesterday that I made money from. And I only even did that because I bet on NVIDIA, which, that's okay, sorry. I bet on NVIDIA, which NVIDIA didn't do well. So this company is just like NVIDIA. So I guessed the same thing, that since NVIDIA did that, this company is going to do the same thing, which I end up being right. So anyway, I do have to go because this one has to eat. He doesn't like people putting him down. He likes you carrying him. So if you guys, once I plan my trade, I don't have time for the rest of the day, but tomorrow I will have time. Once I plan my trade for the week, I'll post it in that channel so you guys can have access to it and see. The week is just so fast. I can't guarantee that if I buy something, I'll tell you guys because things are always just moving so fast. But I'll try to, whatever I end up buying, I'll end up letting you guys know. But at least what I'm trying to trade for the week, I'll post it there so you guys can see.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Much
Thank you,
appreciated.
guys. No problem.
Thank you.
No
All
problem.
right.
Have a
Have a
good
good
one,
day.
guys. You
Okay.
too. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.